No conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps.
Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Cincinnati Bengals. Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
It's up, ladies! It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house. Shit! You go tight. Regular. You got tight right there.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Hey, alert 3. Here you go. 93, 52, 93, 44.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
93, 52, 93, 44.
Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. And able to find Green. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Here we go, 10.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Credit that sack to Jabal Sheard. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Sponge. No.
So Dalton now. Finding Green complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Hot, hot! Lady! I got you! I got you! Here we go. 93, 52, 93, 44.
Snap came at 1. Now here's Dalton. And that is incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts are going to get it at the 20.
Hey, hold on. I'm trying to collect. Go. Come to me, it's me. My 52. Let him know. No. Check that. Hey, 52 right here. 52. Let's go. 52's the mic. Watch out.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Watch the call. Be ready. Where's your
Now it's Hines. And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he's stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Mike 57. Double dog. That's the way. 57.
Out of the gun, Brissett. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Coming to you. Check 4.
They begin the drive with Hines. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL tap. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Jordan Evans, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. He's going to float this over them. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, 95 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, punt the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Bengals drive about to get going and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
These two teams all tied after one. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Watch twist. Watch the twist. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, G. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Switch.
Now Joe Mixon. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2.
Lady. Rip right. 58 for Mike, 58.
3rd and 2 for Dalton. Complete to his tight end Sample. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46.
Hey, go 368. And 58 is the Mike. Go 58 is the Mike.
Dalton. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Dalton picked off by another Horned Frog, Jason Verrett.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run with Hines. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll run here with Mack, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Again, it'll be Matt. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. Come on. Watch tight end. Tight right. 3 out.
On third down, Hines. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. This situation in the fourth quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. He's crazy.
Kick. Regular.
On 2nd and 7, Dalton. Green brings it in. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
1st and 10 for Dalton. He's got Green. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score.
Here we go.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. A first down throw coming for Dalton. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
You go, team, spill.
Be scared of it. 49, check 49.
Now it's Mixon running right. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Hey, 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up. Check. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Kill, kill, kill.
To throw here, Dalton. The try. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 18. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
368. Regular. Hey, seam 6. Yeah, 5-10.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Play fake, Brissett. It's caught by Funchess. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check 26, check 26.
From the gun, here's Brissett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And Bullock will put this one through. So how about the turn of events there at the end of the half?
This is one where you go charging into your locker room having collected 3 points you didn't expect to get. And you look across the field and you see guys kind of pointing fingers at each other like, dude, how'd you turn it over and make us give up 3 right there?
This one taken from the 7. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Play action now. Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Whip. Watch the whip. A little flare.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he gets it to Funchess complete. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Hines. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Joker.
They go play action with Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike.
Mike 52.
Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Trump.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon, and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Check.
2-2. Move.
Back to Mixon on first down. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They come up in an offset eye.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Who we got?
They'll go with Foreman, and he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's a run with Mixon, and the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
From the 2 now, second and goal. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
They'll run here with Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jordan Willis gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Brissett. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52.
I'm coming.
Now Brissett. Complete to Hilton. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Watch the screen. 52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's the mic. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Mike 52. Mike 52.
Hey, man. Watch the boot.
They're going to try and throw. That's to his running back, complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the third quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. This is Hines. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On second down and 4, Brissett. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
We got to step it up. Check three.
On 1st down, Mixon. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check safety.
Hey. 2-2. Move.
Let's go.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Got a man open, it's Ross. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10.
318. 368.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
Here we go. Check three, check three, check three.
Fight it.
Here's Dalton. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, his 2nd touchdown on the season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. On 3rd down, Brissett. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Brissett to throw for it on 4th. Looking deep. He's got a man. Complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Brissett from the gun on 3rd. Funches has it complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 32-yard line.
A gain of 13 yards. 1st down, Colts.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Campbell making the catch. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins got home that time. It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Brissett on 4th down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap. And the Bengals will get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's Dalton. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
He's going to have the hook up to Ross. So a decent gain, but all for... Not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. He's got it at the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Dalton operating in the red zone now. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Darius Leonard in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Cincinnati, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll drop down to 1-3, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.